Yesterday, we dove into a pretty complex topic. We didn't get as deep as I wanted to get, so we're going to do a part 2 today, and we're going to talk about abundance and scarcity and how they connect.
If you have very high self-belief, I've said this before, everything is a little different. If you have low self-belief, again, everything's a little different. You have to take everything you say, think, do, feel, and believe and filter it through your level of self-belief.
Next Level Nation today for episode number 2173. Scarcity doesn't create abundance, it creates more scarcity. We are piggybacking on yesterday's episode, and the big idea in yesterday's episode was essentially when you get rid of the need for something, it allows you to do the things that you actually need to do in order to get that thing. Would you say that's a fair example?
Say it one more time.
When you release the need for something, it allows you to invest the necessary time into actually getting that thing because you're not doing it just to get the thing anymore.
Yeah. It's almost like you're able to aim for something higher and then that becomes a milestone along the way. So you and I are trying to achieve growing this company by 7% quarter over quarter, which is 30% year over year. Your dream car is going to be a byproduct of a much bigger goal.
Right. Okay. So scarcity doesn't create abundance, it creates more scarcity. Here's where I think there's a disconnect oftentimes. This is good. This is a good example. Alan and I were talking, and he said, dude, if everything went off the rails today, and the company went to shit, everything, I lost everything, I still had Emilia, I would just rebuild it again. And I was like, that's the dumbest shit ever of all time. I know that's what you would do, but I would never resonate with that 5 years ago. I'd be like, the reason scarcity, I feel like scarcity for most people creates more scarcity because if you're scarce about not knowing how to get it, you're not going to be able to release that at all.
Okay. What did you think about it as this version of you? Because it would not be good from a momentum perspective because we'd have to rebuild the brand and rebuild the community. So it's not optimal. I don't want that to happen. But what I do want to make clear is you and I would be way more effective. I'd be 100 times more effective this time around than last time.
Yeah.
Because I am now far more aware of what does work and what doesn't work. We have 8 years of scientific method of this hypothesis, this hypothesis, this hypothesis. We can double and triple and quadruple down on the things that we know work and not waste any time, effort, or money on the things that don't. So I feel like we could rebuild this. How long do you think it would take for us to rebuild everything we've built? If we were to say, hypothetical universe, we still have Taryn and Emilia, we still have each other, everything else is gone. How long do you think it would take us to rebuild to where we are now?
Probably half the time.
Yeah, agreed. I think I could do a third probably, but that's why it would be a pain in the ass. But it's totally doable. See, that's self-belief.
Well, but it's taken me 8 years to get to that place.
Yeah.
If
catch-22.
If year one, somebody was like, if I took everything away, it's like, honestly, I don't have any fucking results, so I might just go do something else. I don't know. You fucking have it. You can take it. So this would be my lesson for you watching or listening. There is something in your life that if somebody was to take it away, you'd know exactly how to get it back.
Nice.
That's what we're talking about today. You just don't have the muscle for that thing yet.
And not only do you know how, you also have developed the skills. Because I think there's something there where awareness plus skills plus implementation, there's sometimes a gap. Like you didn't know how to sell, and now you do. So everything would accelerate much faster this time. And you also would get rid of all the baggage too. All the nonsense that it's like we're all dragging a dumpster up a hill and we would cut the dumpster and then be like, holy shit, look at what we got going. So again, it would be hard, but what I hope lands is when you learn how to stop playing so scared to lose, you actually set yourself up to win. If I'm playing my whole life to just hang on to what I have now, I'll share this. Way back 10 years ago, when I quit corporate, I heard through the grapevine, I've told you this before, someone said, oh my God, He was making $180,000 a year. I would never quit a job making $180,000 a year. And back then, when I heard this through the grapevine, the person who told me, I said, well, that's why he'll never make 180 grand. And the person was like, what do you mean? And now I know why he didn't understand what the fuck I was saying. But at the time, I didn't understand the layers. I said I had to risk everything prior to this in order to get that. I had to risk 65 to get 85. I had to risk 85 to get 105. I had to risk 105 to get 125. I had to risk 125 to get 180. When I went from inside sales engineering to outside sales engineering, I remember being like, oh my God. I went from answering phones, starting an inside sales engineering team, talking to these companies on the phone, to then selling to the CEO of General Electric, one of the biggest companies on planet Earth. Like, that's horribly challenging. And I had to risk it. You have to fucking risk it. You have to risk the current level to get to the next level. You can't.
Well, but you also knew that your safety net was pretty high. What's worst case? We go back to 115, 110, you know what I mean?
But what about the first job? 65 to 85, I would have gone back to broke.
But you never would have been because you would have figured it out.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, I'm not minimizing that. I think that's awesome.
No, it's a good point. It's a great point.
I think that's awesome.
No,
I just know that I didn't have that.
But
in my mind.
This is good. You weren't going to starve. You're always going to be capable enough to not starve. The economy needs humans.
I mean, I was pretty close a couple times.
Brother, come on. You are a capable fucking adult who can
I
get
am
a
now,
job.
but back then I wasn't that. I wasn't nearly as capable as I am.
It's almost like worst case scenario, depending on where you live. Worst case scenario, you still are going to figure it out. I understand why this isn't resonating. I do.
Yeah.
You're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out. I don't even know what else to tell you. You get a mentor, you fucking Google it. Like, you have work ethic.
I'm going to figure it out, yeah.
Well,
But 8 years ago, that's version
what I'm
of
talking
Kevin.
about.
Yeah, that version of Kevin was
Talk
different.
to that Kev. He would figure it out.
Jeez.
He always did, didn't he?
Yeah, but fuck. But I think a lot of things lined up, and I also had a lot of grit, and I tucked my ego, and I was like, I'll do anything, whatever I got to do to pay the bills. It's almost like, this is the hard thing. When you're taking a shot at something, you almost have to understand that you might actually go, the safety net might be way lower than you think. You're most likely not going to fail upward immediately. Like, I currently make, and again, this is a hypothetical, I currently make $65,000 a year. I'm going to leave this $65K job and I'm going to apply for one that's $95. If I don't get that job, I'm most likely not going to get one that pays $92. Because time is my enemy now. And there's something to that. Time is my enemy in terms of I need a job fast. I thought this was going to be the one, hypothetically.
Right.
Which creates scarcity, which means you have to make a decision based on the short term.
In this context, are you not willing to work at McDonald's? Dude, if I had to, I'd work wherever I had to.
Yes, but I'm saying your drop is going to be, so you're not going to make...
Yeah.
That,
of course.
That.
Yeah. But
so
you're never going to starve.
The safety net might just be lower than you think.
Yeah. And people aren't willing to take that hit.
I think that's a big... Dude,
we don't talk about this enough, but dude, I went from a global 1% earner to living with my mother in my late 20s. And now I realize why everyone thought I was such a loser. NLU listener, what is happening? I just wanted to jump in here and let you know, if you want to get to the next level faster, we have a free virtual monthly meetup at the first Thursday of every month. You can connect with like-minded people and become a bigger part of this amazing global community. The link to register will be in the show notes.
But how much did that really bother you, though? Like, seriously?
I thought it was really smart.
Yeah,
and I also was doing it for my mom.
Yeah.
I was doing it for my mom, too. We sold the house, and without me, we wouldn't have been able to do that, quite frankly. But did that bother me? I thought it was a big W. But it bothered me socially. Everyone was so mean, and they made fun of me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you live with your mom, and it's like, fuck you. I was more successful than you 7 years ago. I chose to leave that job. It's not like I got fired. But they were so fucking mean, dude. It's so brutal. Like, I didn't make fun of you when you were working it for minimum wage. You know what I mean? I
think
I can't even with that shit.
People are afraid of the same thing. When they see them posting on Facebook, like you're doing all this amazing stuff, and then you go get a job that's very early in comparison to what your skill set is. You don't want to post about that. You feel shame about it. You feel embarrassment.
You were bench pressing the bar. You went all the way back. You went from the jacked guy winning bodybuilding competitions to bench pressing the fucking bar. That's why you got a PR. That's like, I know it's a logical leap.
I knew I could.
Can you go through it quick?
I was having shoulder issues, and I was like, I need to figure this out. Still stronger than most of the people I know. Like, nobody would ever know. But it was my shoulder was bothering me. I said, I got to figure this out. And we were in Florida. I remember doing this in Florida. I think that's when
I was with you.
Yeah,
I was
think
trying
that's
to do
when I
incline
started.
bench. I had to put weight on the bar.
Yeah, because I didn't have any. Yeah. I literally went, I think the most I ever benched was 300. 295, 300, something like that. Not great. Bench press is not good for me. But I remember going to the gym and saying, I'm just going to go back to bench pressing the bar so I can actually do it correctly. I'm going to go all the way back to the fundamentals.
That was a huge cred build for me. I think now I realize that would be a cred hit for other people.
Okay, but imagine if I wasn't in good shape. I didn't have the belief that this was going to be worth it.
Yeah.
16-year-old Kev, not a fucking chance. Load it up, baby. I'll tear it right off. I don't care. But it takes...
For what? Perception and status?
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Why do we correlate status with survival?
Why do we correlate status with
That's
survival?
a big L for people, I think. You don't need status. It helps. It definitely helps. Let me give you an example.
Yeah,
we just got a client that is over $100,000 a year. I am so proud of us, particularly you, because you are the majority of this. But the company, obviously, the team, I'm proud of everybody.
A lot of moving parts.
All of us were necessary for this to happen. That's the truth. And so I'm proud of all of us. That's great. That's $100,000 a year from one client. Now, on the other side of that coin, don't fuck this up. And we have to do all the work that comes with that. So the responsibility's there. That's a status build. When you build status, you do have more opportunities. I do understand that. But you're not going to die without it. And I think that's all in our head.
I think we're all afraid to get kicked out of the group. Because you know why? This is my experience. I'm not saying this is your experience if you're out there. Dude, one of the reasons I had suicidal ideations when I was getting ready to leave my job. We used to literally fucking joke about this. It was a joke. We were joking about this. We weren't serious. And it ended up becoming a serious thing. So I understand the irony / weirdness of it. We used to say, if I ever got fired from this job, I would fucking kill myself. Because there's no way I'm ever going to find a job like this again.
Why?
One,
of course you could.
I didn't believe I could. That was part one. Two, I had a reputation. I had a reputation that exceeded my belief in myself.
And your awareness and your capabilities
Everything.
and your skills. Yeah.
So if I have to start over, yes. I think so many of us rely on external results because that's the only way we don't feel like imposters.
How did you not feel like an imposter when you went from a 6-figure earner to a loser broke podcaster?
I did feel like an imposter. There's a reason I didn't tell people that I was a podcaster for a long time.
Oh.
I told people, I just wasn't proud of it.
I think I was naive to how
you were naive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were super naive. Super naive.
Shit.
I don't think when we were recording in your mother's basement, we weren't coming out saying like, live from Alan's mom's basement. We weren't, I don't know that we were hiding it, quote unquote, but we weren't.
I wasn't hiding it for sure.
But I wasn't shouting it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
It's a cool story now, but at the time it was not as cool as it is today. You know,
But when you hear these success stories, they always start with like,
I know, but nobody hears about them when they're not successful. That's the fucking thing. That's survivor bias.
We didn't make any money the first year. The second year, we only made $13,000 between the two of us. Now we make more than that in a month. Way more than that in a month. That's only cool now?
Yeah. Because this is the thing. So for you, you're thinking of the future. I was always thinking, I'm not going to buy into
I thought it was
something.
awesome being in the Subaru while I was doing it. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, 100%. I understand why you thought that was awesome. I also understand
Go
that
into why.
because it's a representation of the mindset that will eventually create success.
It shows commitment.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do something that no one else is willing to do.
But
and
imagine,
I know that's what's going to make the
but
difference.
fucking imagine if I was on the other line and I paid you for a coaching session, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine this. I'm eating dinner with my wife that night. How was your coaching session with Alan today? I was a little fucking weird. He was in his car for some reason. I have no idea why he took the fucking call. He was just sitting, he was baking in the sun, sweating all over the place. Cred hit.
Why? I was in better shape. I was a fitness coach.
I
Better
know,
shape.
but there's something to it.
Yeah.
There's something to it.
Even though I was already successful?
Nobody
It
cares.
doesn't matter?
No, nobody cares.
That is, what do you mean who cares?
No, nobody cares what you've done or what you're going to do. They care about what you're doing now.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Dude, trajectory matters more than current position. Current position doesn't matter at all.
One, nobody can see your trajectory because they're not following your story, so they don't know. That's a piece of it. And for the first fucking 4 years, the trajectory was down from the previous 4, quote unquote. It looks like it's down.
Oh, yes. It looks like it's down.
But you're the one who knows the trajectory. They don't.
You had to take a step back in order to bench more than ever before. That's the principle.
Yes.
You have to give up the current level. You have to risk. You have to risk the current level. Have to get to the next level. If you're always trying to hang on to your current physique, you're not going to be able to gain weight and gain muscle in order to... This is a fundamental. You have to sacrifice or at least risk the current level to get to the next level. Of course.
You must.
Yeah, and I
You
appreciate
must.
the conversation. Trajectory matters more than current position, though. I
agree.
We got to have an episode on that,
Okay,
I think.
done.
Yeah.
Done. All right. Next Level Nation Book Club every Saturday, 12:30 Eastern Time. New book starting. You don't have to have read it. You don't have to be on camera. You don't have to participate. You can just be a fly on the wall. We would love that for you. And if you are looking for a group of amazing humans getting to the next level, we will have our private Facebook group below. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And if you are as committed as you say you are to getting to the next level, make sure you tune in tomorrow because we will be here every single day to help you get there.
Strong work. Keep reaching for your full potential. Next Level Nation.